My beloved child, slow down and take a deep breath. You didn't land here by mistake. This moment, this video, this very word is a divine setup. I brought you here because you needed to hear what's been hidden behind the veil. You've been wondering, does my soulmate think of me? Have they moved on? Did I matter to them at all? And I see your heart, the part you keep guarded, the part that aches in silence. That ache, that silence, I've heard it louder than your words. Now listen carefully. Something truly ridiculous just happened to the one I've chosen for you. It didn't make sense to them. It left them shaken, confused, and exposed. But in the middle of it, when they had no one to run to, they came to me. And when they did, they spoke about you. Not just as a memory, but as a moment they missed, a blessing they didn't understand when they had it. They didn't tell a friend, they didn't post about it. They whispered your name in my presence, and I took that moment, and I brought it here, to you. Yes, I heard the cry from their heart, and now I want you to hear what I heard. Because this isn't about curiosity. This is about confirmation. Confirmation that I am still at work behind the scenes. Confirmation that what you felt wasn't just a passing emotion, it was spiritual alignment. So I ask you, my beloved, pause for a moment and write in the comments below. I'm ready, Lord, to hear what you have to say. Let the world know your heart is open to receive. Let heaven see your faith in action. You're not watching this alone. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are watching over this moment, and my spirit is ready to speak directly to you. Because what's happening right now is not small. It's not random. It's not accidental. It's intentional. It's divine. This message is not only about them, it's about you, and what's already moving in the spirit for the both of you. Stay with me now, and let me reveal what your soul has been waiting for. When the promise seems delayed, you've been patient, haven't you? You've held your peace while watching others celebrate. You've smiled for them while wondering when it will be your turn. You've prayed with hope and woken up with questions. You've looked at your life and asked me silently, Lord, did I miss something? Am I behind? Did you forget me? Let me answer you now. No, I did not forget. I never left your side. Not even once. I see how your heart holds on, even when it's tired. I see how you still show kindness, even when you feel overlooked. I know the nights you cried quietly, not wanting anyone to notice. I remember every tear. I've counted every one. And while you've been waiting, I've been working, not just on you, but on the one I've chosen for your heart. You see them on the outside and think they're doing fine, but you don't see what I see. Behind the image is someone who's been struggling. They've made mistakes, they've followed distractions, they chose paths that looked promising but led to pain. And recently, something unexpected happened. Something ridiculous. Something that made them stop in their tracks. It shook their confidence. It broke through their pride. It made them feel small, but not in a bad way, in a humbling way. That ridiculous moment was not a punishment. It was a wake-up call. I allowed it, not to embarrass them, but to awaken them, to show them what life looks like without you in it. They tried to move forward without the one I anointed for them, you. They tried to replace your presence with noise and shallow comfort, but nothing filled the space. Nothing brought peace, because what you carry is not ordinary. Your love isn't common. Your soul is set apart. You are not just another person who passed through their life. You are a key to their purpose. You are a piece of the promise I whispered into their spirit long ago. And now, they're beginning to realize it. Even if they haven't fully said it out loud, their soul knows, because the absence of your peace has become louder than any distraction they once chased. So, hear me today. Even when the promise looks far, it is not forgotten. Even when the path looks quiet, it is not empty. I am working behind the scenes, connecting what looks disconnected, and nothing can stop what I have ordained. This delay has never been denial, it's been divine preparation. Your time is near, and when it happens, you'll understand why you had to wait. Because what I am bringing together will be deeper than anything you've imagined. Not rushed, not forced, not broken. It will be divine. They confided in me about you. Yes, my child, they came to me. Not with perfect words, not with carefully planned sentences, but with brokenness, with confusion, with tears they couldn't explain. They didn't kneel in a church or stand before a crowd. They came to me in the stillness, in the aftermath of their mistakes. In the middle of a ridiculous storm they brought on themselves. They had tried to ignore the emptiness. They tried to distract themselves with people who couldn't see their soul. They laughed on the outside, but wrestled with regret deep inside. And in that moment, when everything fell apart, your name came out of their spirit. It wasn't forced, it wasn't dramatic, it was raw, it was real. And it was you. They didn't say it with pride, they said it with pain. God, why can't I forget them? Why do they feel like peace I never protected? Why does their memory feel louder than the people I've tried to hold on to? I heard it. I listened to every word, even the ones they couldn't speak. I watched the walls in their hearts start to fall. And in that sacred moment, I saw something shift. They didn't just remember you. They longed for you, but they didn't know how to return. That's when I began to whisper again. Not to them, but to you. Because while they were stumbling through confusion, you were pressing into me. While they were running in circles, you were sitting quietly in the secret place. While they were searching for answers, you were letting me refine your heart. They were confiding in me about what they lost, and you were trusting me to protect what you carried. And now, it's no longer just about memories. It's about movement. Because I am reintroducing you, not as the same version they left behind, but as the one I've rebuilt, the one I've strengthened, the one who waited with grace while I worked on both of your hearts. What they remember about you is real, but what I'm about to show them through you will be redeeming. They will not meet the same person. They will encounter my glory in you. Your presence will carry a peace they now know they need. Your voice will speak wisdom they now recognize as truth. Your love will feel like healing they no longer want to run from. So listen, my child, don't chase, don't beg, don't try to prove anything. Your time of restoration is not about performance, it's about positioning, and I am the one positioning everything. The breaking had to happen. My child, I need you to understand this. What happened to them wasn't just unfortunate, it was intentional. It looked messy, it looked humiliating, it looked like failure, but to me it was necessary. You see, sometimes I allow what looks like a breakdown to become a breakthrough, and that's what this was. The scandal that shook their image, the embarrassment that shattered their pride, the loss that made them question everything they trusted. It was all part of my divine design, not to destroy them, but to awaken them. Because I could not let them carry their pride into your future. I could not allow ego to lead the relationship I am preparing. I had to empty them. I had to strip away the illusions. I had to make them see what they truly needed and who they truly needed to become. Pride is loud, but purpose is quiet, and I needed them to sit in silence long enough to hear me clearly. Sometimes I break a man, not to shame him, but to shape him. Sometimes I pull everything from a woman's hands, not to punish her, but to prepare her to hold something greater. That ridiculous moment in their life, the one they still can't explain, was not random. It was divinely permitted. Because the path they were walking was headed in the wrong direction. They were choosing performance over presence. They were chasing approval over alignment. They were building a future without seeking me, and without making space for you. And I couldn't let that continue. So I did what only a loving father would do. I interrupted them. I shook the ground beneath them. I let the relationships they trusted fall apart. I let their plans come to nothing. I allowed their comfort to crumble. Not because I was angry, but because I was getting them ready for something holy. You don't need someone who only desires your body. You need someone who will cover your spirit. You need a partner who knows how to pray with you, fight for you, speak truth to you, and walk in peace beside you. And that kind of love doesn't come from comfort, it comes from refinement. So I put them in the fire, not to burn them, but to refine them. So when the time comes, they don't just return to you, they return as someone prepared to walk in covenant. Now they're starting to understand, they're waking up to what really matters. They're seeing how empty life was when they pushed you aside. They're realizing the blessing they almost missed. And you haven't seen the full picture yet. But what I'm building in them and in you will be worth every second of the wait. Because this isn't just love, it's destiny. You've been hidden for a reason, my precious child. You've asked me more times than you can count. Why do I keep ending up alone? Why does it never seem to work out? Why do I keep meeting people who say the right things but never carry the right spirit? And each time you asked, I listened. But instead of answering you with words, I responded with protection. You didn't see it then, but every unanswered message, every canceled plan, every connection that faded into silence was not rejection, it was redirection. You weren't being overlooked, you were being hidden, hidden in the shelter of my hand, hidden behind my timing, hidden so that the wrong people couldn't reach you and misuse your gift. Because you don't just carry beauty, you carry oil. You carry wisdom, patience, spiritual depth, and discernment. And I refuse to let someone mishandle the treasure I placed inside of you. I wasn't hiding you because you were weak. I was hiding you because you were valuable. I knew the kind of love you were designed for, and I wouldn't let you settle for less. I knew the weight of your calling, and I wouldn't let someone distract you from it. I knew the depth of your heart, and I wouldn't let someone with shallow intentions pull you out of alignment. Yes, you were ready, but they weren't. They were still chasing surface-level connections, still confusing attention with affection, still entertaining options instead of honoring purpose. So I hid you, not out of punishment, but out of protection. You saw it as delay, but I saw it as development, because even in your readiness, I was still sharpening your discernment, still maturing your emotions, still teaching you how to hear my voice above all others. You weren't waiting for love. You were learning how to recognize the right love. And now, things are beginning to shift. Because the one I have set apart for you, the one who wandered through foolish choices and meaningless distractions, the one who let go of what was sacred in search of what was temporary, is finally waking up. They are beginning to feel the weight of their choices. They are realizing that the peace they left behind was tied to your spirit. And without even knowing how to say it, they are being pulled back toward destiny. They may not understand what's happening fully, but their soul knows something is missing, something real, something pure, someone divinely assigned. And that someone is you. You are the answered prayer they didn't even have the words to pray, the one I reserved, the one I refined, the one I've been shaping quietly in the background. So don't look at your loneliness as punishment. Look at it as preservation. Don't look at the silence as abandonment. See it for what it really is, my covering. Because when I present you, it won't be rushed, it won't be confusing, it won't be filled with guesswork or anxiety. It will be clear, timely, and heaven-approved. And when that moment comes, you'll understand why I had to keep you hidden. Because what I've prepared for you was always worth the wait. The confession they will never forget. My child, there will come a day, and it's closer than you think, when the one I chose for you will come back, not with grand gestures, not with rehearsed words, but with truth. Not just any truth, but truth shaped by struggle. Truth carved from deep regret. Truth they could only discover after everything else fell apart. They won't come pretending to be perfect. They won't come trying to impress you. They will come with their guard down and their soul open. Because when the chaos they created swallowed them, when they had no more strength to pretend, when their plans collapsed and their pride crumbled, that's when they remembered you. Not just your face, not just your voice. They remembered your peace. They remembered the way your presence felt like clarity. They remembered how, when the world was loud, your love was quiet but safe. And in that lowest place, in the silence after the storm, they said to me, God, I tried to forget them. I tried to move on. I tried to convince myself it was just timing. But even now, even after everything, they're still in my spirit. I feel like I lost something holy. And I listened, not because they earned a second chance, but because grace was already waiting. Because I knew one day they would need the room to return and speak what they could never say before. They will tell you things that sound strange. They will admit choices that hurt. They will share stories of places they went and people they trusted that left them empty. They will confess how they tried to replace your presence with noise, with quick comfort, with anything that looked like relief. But none of it worked. Because you weren't just a part of their story. You were tied to their purpose. And when they finally say it, not as a performance but as a release, you'll know it wasn't just emotion, it was prophecy. Because I've been writing this moment long before either of you knew what was coming. Even the ridiculous event that shook their world, the thing that embarrassed them, exposed them, and made them question everything, was not a mistake. It was my setup. They couldn't hear me in pride, so I had to speak through pain. Pride would have kept them away, but brokenness brought them back. And I will use what humbled them to prepare them for what will honor you. They will confess, not to win your approval, but to be honest with themselves, because what they carry now is not ego, it's awareness. They finally see what you were, who you were, what your love meant, and this time, they won't brush it off. They won't take it lightly. And you will recognize the shift. Your spirit will pick up what your eyes can't explain. You'll see the transformation in the way they speak, the way they approach you, the way they carry your name in conversation. This won't be manipulation, it won't be sweet talk. It will be repentance wrapped in honesty, and I will be in the middle of that moment, guiding the words, calming your heart, and preparing the space for reconciliation if your heart is willing and ready. Because what's coming isn't about going back to where things were. It's about starting something new, with me at the center this time. And when you hear their confession, you'll know it wasn't fantasy. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't just emotion or memory. It was divine alignment finally reaching its appointed time. The spiritual shift is already in motion. Right now, as you sit here listening to these words, something invisible is shifting. Something divine is moving, and you may not be able to touch it yet, but in the spirit, it's already taking form. You've felt the heaviness. You've sensed the restlessness in your spirit. You've noticed the sudden silence, the emotional tension, the unspoken hope that maybe, just maybe, something is changing. And you're not wrong. Because while you've been trying to stay patient, while you've been walking by faith and not by sight, I've been behind the scenes, doing what only I can do. I've been aligning hearts. I've been rearranging timelines. I've been softening pride. I've been clearing out distractions. I've been touching places in them that only I have access to. You might not see a phone call. You might not receive a message. You might not hear their voice just yet. But don't let the quiet fool you. The atmosphere is already shifting. The heavens are already stirred. And their spirit, the one that tried to silence your name, is now being stirred with your memory and with my truth. You've wondered if the delay meant denial. You've asked if you missed the moment. You've worried that maybe they'll never return, or if the connection was just imagined. But I say to you, no, you didn't miss anything. You are not behind. You are right where I need you to be. And right now, at this very moment, I am doing what you cannot do. I am working in their soul, not in front of crowds, not on social media, but in the quiet. Because transformation always begins in silence. And that's what's happening now. Don't mistake stillness for inactivity. Don't confuse delay with disconnection. This is the season where roots are growing deep, where pride is breaking, where clarity is forming, where I am realigning them with the purpose they forgot, you. Because the moment they confided in me about you, the very moment they whispered your name with uncertainty, I began moving pieces you can't see. I started shifting ideas, redirecting emotions, canceling distractions, and opening their eyes to truth. And I didn't just do it for them, I did it for you. Because your faith activated something in the heavens, your consistency, your purity, your obedience, it reached my throne. And I will not let your hope go unanswered. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. Yes, I will restore the time that heartbreak stole. I will restore the love that fear tried to bury. I will restore the hope that rejection tried to shut down. Because I am not just the God of beginnings, I am the God of restoration. I don't just repair what's broken, I make it better than before. So get ready, not for a repeat, but for a rebirth. Because this isn't going to look like what you lost. It's going to feel like what I promised. You're not just hoping anymore. You're standing on a divine signal, and heaven is already moving to meet you at the place of your expectation. Keep walking forward. Keep trusting me, because the spiritual shift is already in motion. And soon, you will see with your eyes what your heart has been feeling all along. Instructions before the encounter. Now listen carefully, my child, because what's coming next will require more than emotion. It will require wisdom. I've heard your prayers, I've seen the tears, I've watched you hope, wait, trust, and surrender. And yes, I am answering. But before the answer arrives in full, before they come back into your life, I need to prepare your heart. Because the return is not just about reunion, it's about purpose. So when they come, and they will, do not greet them with anger. Do not open the door with fear. And don't allow the past to speak louder than the present. Welcome them with wisdom, not naive hope, not blind excitement, but with spiritual maturity. You're not the same person they knew. You've grown, you've healed, you've been refined in the fire of waiting and trusting. And now, I want you to respond not from emotion, but from discernment. Because this is not the time to idolize the idea of love. This is the time to discern the presence of purpose. They may come with stories, they may come with sincerity, they may come with a soft heart and honest words. But it is I who will show you who they truly are now. Don't just see their face, look at their fruit. Don't just hear their voice, listen to their spirit. Don't rush to embrace what I have not yet confirmed. Instead, invite me into that moment. Ask me, Lord, is this from you? Is this timing divine or just emotional? Have they been sent back by you, or are they driven by their own regret? Because closure is not enough. You need clarity. You don't need just an apology. You need alignment. And I want to give it to you. But you must let me lead. You must trust that I see deeper than the surface. That I know their thoughts even before they speak them. That I can show you what no words can explain. This is not just a sweet moment. This is a sacred opportunity. And if you move too quickly, you may repeat what I intended to redeem. But if you move with me, if you let my spirit guide you, then I won't just bring them back into your life. I'll sanctify what you both become from this point forward. Because this time, it won't be built on fantasy. It won't be held together by feelings alone. It won't be rushed, shallow, or confused. This time, it will be divine. So prepare your heart now. Not with expectations, but with discernment. Not with fear, but with faith. And when that door opens, when their voice calls your name again, you will be ready. Not because of who they are, but because of who I am in you. This love will be different. My child, let me speak this over your heart, clearly, gently, and with the authority of heaven. This will not be like what you've known before. This is not a repeat. This is not a recycled relationship full of pain and confusion. This is not another chapter of almosts and unfinished promises. This love, the one I've been preparing for you, is different. Because this time, I'm not just giving you someone to walk beside you. I'm giving you someone who will walk with me beside you. This love will not leave you doubting. It will not make you question your worth. It will not force you to chase, beg, or shrink to feel accepted. This love will be whole. This love will be holy. This love will be heaven approved. I didn't hold you back to frustrate you. I didn't ask you to wait just so you could feel forgotten. No, I kept you hidden because I was preparing a blessing that would go beyond what you ever imagined for yourself. I knew what you needed before you did. I saw the places in you that still needed healing, and I saw the places in them that still needed breaking. Because I don't just bring two people together, I build something eternal through the two I unite. So when it happens, when they return, when they speak, when the moment unfolds, remember this word, remember this moment, because it was not just another video, it was not just a passing feeling, it was a divine confirmation. I let something ridiculous happen in their life, not to shame them, but to awaken them, not to tear them down, but to realign their heart with what I've been doing in you. That ridiculous moment was the key. It opened a spiritual door that had been shut for too long. It humbled them, it softened them, it made space for truth, and now, you're standing at the threshold of something new, something sacred, something that carries my fingerprint. This isn't about going back. This is about stepping forward, with clarity, with confidence, and with me as your foundation. So prepare your heart. And when it begins, don't let fear speak louder than faith. Don't let past pain whisper over my new promise. Trust what you've felt, believe what I've confirmed, and walk into what I've made ready. Because this time, it will be different. It will be right, it will be divine. Now lift your heart to me. Father in heaven, for the one watching this now, I pray you seal this word in their spirit. Calm every fear, heal every delay. Prepare them, not just for a person, but for a purpose-filled love. May they not idolize the relationship, but embrace the restoration you are preparing. bring divine alignment. Let every ridiculous moment in their soulmate's life turn into divine direction. May peace cover them, may wisdom guide them, and may your timing surprise them with joy that overflows. In Jesus' name, amen. If this message stirred something in your soul, comment below. Lord, I receive this promise and I'm ready for alignment. And don't forget to share this with someone else who's waiting for God's appointed time. It may be exactly what they need. Your divine connection is closer than you think. Keep watching. God is still writing your love story.